Be advised, mature content ahead. This podcast is brought to you ad-free thanks to the Legion of Demons at patreon.com/NOTLP. If you like what you hear, there's much more at patreon.com/NOTLP. Join the Legion. That's patreon.com/NOTLP. And now the show.
How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Hey there! Welcome to
what
the
did
podcast.
You do? Freddy,
things are tough all over, you know. Anyways, I wanted to say thank you to Bill Chandler, our newest Beelzebub.
What up, brah?
Hey, welcome to the club.
And we pulled your shirt out already, and it's going to be mailed out immediately.
Yeah. And it was not farted on at all.
Nobody farted in this direction, except for maybe Andy. But other than that.
Are we ready to announce the good news? The amazing news? We mailed Jeremy's shirt!
The long national nightmare is finally over.
Andy is a damn hero.
Yeah.
Todd's shirt went out.
Nikki's
Jeremy's
pin.
shirt.
And I'm
Nikki's
assuming
pin.
that he got the right size because he has not contacted us yet about it.
Yeah.
So enjoy your XL shirt, Todd.
Yeah.
Andy.
Hopefully it's an XL.
He's just throwing people's sizes out there.
We did it right.
He's like, you know what?
But you should be very proud of us.
But if you did get an XXL, just mark one X off.
And you're fine.
And then it's an XL.
Yeah, just make do. Why is everything got to be perfect?
Yeah.
Perfection is the enemy of progress.
Yeah, there are bigger things to worry about in the world.
God.
So we're kicking around an idea
Ass-butts.
today when we were just setting up.
Whose idea? Who's kicking?
It was my idea.
What do you want?
And I threw it out to you guys. And you
The
guys.
poor idea. We're just kicking it around.
So what do you think if you're a patron of being able to listen to the show as we record it on the Discord server, and then you'd be able to chat in if you wanted to. Through that, you would be able to throw in comments as we go via the chat.
I love being judged along with
Yeah.
In real time, too.
in real time.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
kidding. I'd be fine with that if we can get it to work and it not be goofy.
I think it would work pretty well.
Let us know what you think.
So another thing, patrons, Discord, we can do some screen share stuff, but I can't get the sound to go through Discord, unlike where we normally, if we decide we want to watch something together, we're going out to Zoom and doing that. So if anybody has experience streaming on Discord, how do you, when you're using a MacBook, how do you get the sound to stream to? So I'm just throwing that out there as a housekeeping thing.
Freddie hasn't done this yet, but I am Amy. Hello. Hi. Welcome back to the show.
I'm Andy.
That's Andy, and that's Freddy.
I'm Freddie, the one who doesn't introduce anybody. So
Kelley called in today. He called into HR and he said, I'm not going to be in.
he's not sick or anything.
No, he's
just
taking a
taking the
day,
day off. So
which
don't,
is beautiful.
no worries. We were all like, is something wrong?
And he's
It's
like,
all
no.
good.
And you know what? I want to make this perfectly clear. You don't have to have a reason to not do things if you don't want to.
That's true.
Same, it goes for work. If you need a mental health day, I do that all the time. Not all the time, obviously. But, you know, live your life.
Amy's like, I'm never.
Never at work.
Yeah, it's a new policy at NOTLP. We used to have to bring in doctor's notes.
Yeah.
We have unlimited paternity leave right now,
Unlimited.
but no maternity.
None. Because, you know, we're all about the matriarchy.
Yeah. I just need to announce that I'm going to take off a couple months for maternity leave.
For maternity leave.
Just to take care of Guapo. He's been acting a little needy.
I saw them babies I've been dropping around through the city. I need to take care of them.
We've been dropping babies. Andy's been bringing his little corgi mix Guapo most Sundays now. There's been a month or two, right? And I just enjoy it so much. Millie gets a little grumpy, but she's kind of a grump.
Yeah.
It's her thing.
She's a little bit of a
It's what she's known for.
That's fine. People, it's okay. Embrace your grumpiness.
Yeah.
Don't, kowtow to other people. Be a grump.
Be a grump.
Don't camel toe to other people.
Don't be a grumpykins, as Freddy likes to call them.
I like grumpykins because I feel like it's a gentle way to tell somebody they're being a dick.
Very gentle.
It also like puts them in their place because you make them like a little baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, little baby.
So, our new theme this month, we're starting a new theme. It's called Bad to Worse. Oh, you thought shit was bad. It's going to get worse. So, the universe provided us real life examples such as, Trump's president. We're going to throw in a pandemic.
Right. It's actually perfect timing for this theme. We almost did it before, and then it sat, and now we were like, no, it had to stew. Mm-hmm. It's like when you make a soup and you let it set overnight in the fridge, and it's just
gets better.
Yeah.
All the flavors mingle.
It's like it wasn't a slow cooker. Then finally open up the lid like, it's ready.
Coronavirus.
So we'll be talking about...
Just put some lime on it. It's fine.
Yeah.
This film called Chosen Survivors is our main attraction this week. Mm-hmm. It is from the 70s. I'm going to take
1974, I believe.
Now,
which is the best decade for future stuff.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I love future of the past, especially from the 70s.
Yeah.
So, 74. This was only PG, which is, if this were released today, it would be minimum PG-13.
Yeah.
Possibly R.
They were hardcore back in the 70s.
Yeah. So we have that to look forward to later in the show.
Your kids are fine with rape.
And before that, I'll be talking about Polaroid.
He's going to shake it like a...
I'm assuming, I guess, got a limited theatrical release is why we're covering it in the straight-to-video section.
Wait, what? No.
Are you going to throw it out the window because it got a theatrical
I don't know what you're saying.
Polaroid.
If it did, limited's fine.
Yeah.
Didn't play in Cincinnati, so I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. I thought it did, but that's okay.
Freddie wants to put an asterisk by it.
I want to put an asterisk next to it.
I'm supposed to know when everything was in the theater?
How do I know? You need to do it. So, anywho.
God.
It's like the Astros World Series. Put an asterisk by it.
Oh, damn. Baseball shade. I'm still not entirely sure what that was all about, but fuck them.
Yeah, fuck.
Don't be cheaters.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, just fuck.
Just fuck.
Don't be gross. You don't have to work blue. You're smarter than that.
No, I'm not.
Don't be gross.
What's wrong with being blue? They wrote a whole song about it in the 2000s.
That's right. You don't need it now.
There's a whole group.
Blue Man. Mm-hmm. So patreon.com/NOTLP. We did a night of the comic, a little different. It was just Jason and I, and it was done over the telephone. But we had to get something done on tape about Star Wars: The High Republic. Do you guys know about this?
Yeah, the high, baby.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? You guys don't know? It was called Project Luminous. It was super secret. Lucasfilm had been meeting for a while in secret.
In a bunker filled with bats.
Mm-hmm. So what they've done is they've created a whole new Star Wars setting that takes place 200 years before The Phantom Menace. And they're going to be releasing a bunch of novels and comic books and possibly TV and movie later. Millie's like, I'm so bored with Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that, but Millie just snored real loud.
She's like, I like my Star Wars the way it is.
Yeah, she likes the old original New Hope. She doesn't even watch Empire. But it's a real interesting discussion because it's about they're moving completely away from everything you know and creating all new stuff.
I like that. It could be something for a new generation.
Yeah. So IDW, Marvel both have comic series. There'll be young adult novels, middle grade novels, and adult novels.
Yeah.
Adult books.
Old adult novels.
Get my adult bookstore. So
geriatric novels.
Yeah. And then we'll have Origins episode 83, where we talked about Cloverfield back in the day when it first came out. And
what a great movie.
And Murder Party.
Yeah.
Which is also a great movie. So that's a fun episode. So check those out, and thank you for your continued support.
Oh, and you guys just did a book corner.
We did a book corner. So we're loading it up, man. We did The Shining. Amy just finally read The Shining.
So me, Freddie, and Kelley discussed The Shining.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
So we'll try to keep this pace up.
We had fun.
Andy and I went and saw the new Invisible Man movie with
I think I saw it. It was hard to see, get it.
Oh my God.
Get out.
Go back to being dirty.
You are fired.
It's the only time. Very good. Lee Winnell directed it. Way better than I thought it would be. Really, really made my toes curl a few times.
Really, some actually really shocking and surprising moments.
Yeah.
Is that a spoiler to say there's some?
No.
Oh, no. I mean, like, I clearly, like, I heard people complain. They're like, well, it's just your standard thriller. And I'm like, no, it's got a little edge on it that your standard thriller doesn't have.
Yeah, it was very, very tension filled.
Yeah, it was really good.
I am sad I missed it, but again, going back to what I said at the beginning, sometimes you need a mental health day, so I stayed in bed.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I am excited to see that.
My one problem was the movie was that they chose Oliver Jackson Cohen to be the Invisible Man. It's like, you don't cover that beauty up.
Oh, is that a good looking man?
What else do I know him from?
His Haunting of Hill House. He
Oh,
was the youngest boy.
I knew he was familiar.
The twin.
And twins?
Yeah.
You know, I was just talking about The Haunting of Hill House at work with one of my coworkers, and nobody's really into horror movies. They think they are not fun. And he was like, I watched that and I really enjoyed it. And I was like, oh, I remember that scene in the car. And I was like, oh, I jumped, I peed, I screamed. It was great. And he's like, yeah, that was a really good jump scare. And then another coworker was like, I thought jump scares were like bad in horror movies. Like those are like cheap and easy. And I'm like, nah, some people might feel that way, but I love them.
What a fun little discussion you guys had.
Yeah. And I was like, no, don't let people gatekeep your fun and enjoyment.
Right.
I like to be scared so much that I go, wah!
You'll get a few of those in The Invisible Man.
Yeah.
There's some good jumps in there. Aldous Hodge, I'm becoming a big fan of his. He was really good.
What else was he just in recently that we watched?
Oh, I don't know. He's done so much
matter.
stuff. I know you were a fan of Leverage. He was on that.
Yeah, I like that.
Who was Aldous Hodge? You see the black cop?
Yeah.
He had tight pants on in this movie. I just noticed that.
Damn.
Well, he was definitely, he's a sexy dude.
Yeah.
He was working it.
Booty.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's got 73 credits, so you've probably seen him in quite a bit of stuff.
Also, he can graduate pretty soon then.
You know what I think we just saw him on maybe Fact or Fiction.
Oh, maybe.
Beyond Belief.
Maybe. We've seen a lot of
Hosted
people
by Jonathan
on
Frakes. Impossible is
So he was one of the
impossible.
reenactors?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
He
there's
was
all
a
kinds
kid.
of, there's a lot of people
Oh, good
on
for
there.
him.
Oh, there's a lot of folks that show up on Beyond Belief. I know we probably talk about this every week. But
Probably a good stepping stone
fun.
for actors.
It's shocking because reenactment shows you don't usually associate with people having successful careers after
Roy
it.
from The Office
Yeah.
was in one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a good time. It's on
Charlton Heston. No, that'd be good.
IMDb TV.
I was on one too.
Were you really?
I'm everywhere.
It happened.
Was it was it much of a stepping stone for you?
Was Andy on really on Fact or Fiction, or did our writers make it up?
They're going to have to reenact this. Get an actor to reenact this situation.
Yeah. Your lies, you mean? A
And they chose a white actor to play me, which is kind of offensive.
little bit.
A little bit.
You guys ready to move on?
No, I'm not. We watched the Candyman trailer.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I totally forgot.
Looks exciting.
It does look exciting.
Man.
Yeah. And it looks scary, which, we've met Tony Todd a few times, and I was worried that would deflate the impact of Candyman because
He's imposing in
he is
real life.
imposing, but he's,
jovial.
He's a nice person. And you're like, once you just know somebody in reality, and then you have to suspend your disbelief to be afraid of them again. But I think and I know he's in it, and I assume that's him in the trailer. I'm not sure, but
I don't know
it's
anything.
still very creepy. Like the way they just give you enough of a hint.
My favorite part was the Destiny's Child song that they did.
Yeah.
Andy and I were just talking about that, how when they slow down pop songs for movie trailers, it can sometimes be real cheesy, but this was perfection.
Yeah, because he had to say his name.
Yeah.
Get it?
Say my name.
I mean, it wouldn't have worked if it was like Bills, Bills, Bills. Or another like a Destiny's Child song, but they chose the best, the perfect Destiny's Child song for it.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly.
That's for Jelly Man.
Jelly Man for
Jelly?
the Blob. When they do the remake of the Blob, Jordan Peele's the Blob.
Oh my God. You just wrote that. Write it.
Yeah.
Write him. Twitter DM him.
That's genius.
You can't go any further with it, without,
And I just want to say
you
that
have to let him pick up from
everybody give the director her due. It is not directed by Jordan Peele.
Right.
It is directed by Nia DaCosta. Just remember that.
And have you ever seen anything else that she's done?
I haven't, but it's just awesome that a black female director is getting such a big project.
Yeah.
Representation matters.
That's great. I'm more excited that it actually looks really scary.
Yeah.
Which is like,
I know that's
on top of everything.
I know it looks good, but there are many layers to this movie.
That's right. But it's important that you get good projects.
Yes.
More than anything, I keep seeing thirst trap memes of that dude that's in the movie. I forget his name right now. I'm sorry.
Damn, I'll be saying his name more than 5 times. I'm like, come over.
Oh, yeah, you like him?
I'm like, come over to my house.
He was good looking.
And the bitch from the first one, Anne-Marie, she hasn't aged a fucking day.
She really hasn't.
Yeah, she
if
looks
anything,
amazing.
she looks better now than she did back then.
She must have been really young when they made the first one.
Like, had to be like 20s or something. But still, that was
I like
30
to think
years ago.
I look pretty good still. I probably look the same as when I saw Candyman, right?
Exactly the same.
I think you look better.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you certainly don't look as young.
Yeah, I don't look as young.
It's like, damn, bitch.
Damn!
I know black don't crack, but it made me a little bit angry.
Really?
Like literally, like I saw a side-by-side picture of her comparing it. And
did somebody else? Somebody else was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
As Freddie and I have been watching like Unsolved Mysteries and Beyond Belief, you realize that people just looked older then.
Yeah.
In the 90s and the 80s because we weren't moisturizing, we weren't using the right foundations.
We were still using
wrong haircuts.
We still using like suntan oil.
Yeah. Like you weren't using an SPF in your daily moisturizer, so things are better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important.
I just want to say, damn, bitch.
And he did.
I like when she claps her hands. She's like, "No, don't say his name. No,
no."
No.
There was something really endearing about that moment. You ready? Ready for more?
I am so ready.
All right.
I don't think you're ready for all this jelly.
Oh, Andy, you.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
What is that? It's a camera. Are you ready? Is anybody there?
What's that?
Camera.
Where'd you get it?
I work at this antique store. This is so cool.
Try it out on me. Group photo.
Yes. Smile.
You worked with Tyler Drew at the antique shop.
Yeah.
Tyler's dead.
What? I think you're all in danger. What are you talking about? You see that shadow? After Tyler died, the shadow moved to this photo. I think if the shadow moves to your photo, you die.
If it really freaks you out, we can get rid of the damn thing.
Don't.
Problem solved.
What the?
Sometimes to deal with tragedies, we make up urban legends.
Except this wasn't an urban legend. This was real. He's coming.
You did this. You took the photo.
It's moving. Get the door! Get the door! Hello?
So it's a Polaroid camera with a nuclear powered flash.
Why'd they use a Texas Chainsaw sound?
What's the sound of the
Did Polaroids make that sound?
No, in fact, in the IMDb trivia, it says that this model did not make that sound.
They did have old cameras that would charge the flash, and you would hear that sound. But yeah, not these. Anywho, this is a Polaroid from the director Lars Klevberg, who Mike and I saw do a panel at WonderCon last year for the new Child's Play, which was fantastic. I love the new Child's Play, the remake. This movie is what Roger Ebert, I think, coined the term a dead teenager movie. And that's pretty much all you're getting here. It's like kind of like the Ring or Final Destination, wherein there's a setup in the beginning that tells you everybody's going to die one by one.
This
and
feels
then
like does it feel like a late 90s, early 2000s movie?
Yeah, very, very much.
I love those though.
Yeah.
It has its moments.
But this one's not great, but it still has its moments. Yeah, there's mild entertainment to be found.
Is this the one where like the funny faces before they killed themselves?
No, that was Truth or Dare.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's it. Okay.
we still haven't watched that. We thought we were watching that, and we ended up seeing
We watched
some
the
other
knockoff.
It was the Sci-Fi Channel movie that we ended up watching.
I watched this with Freddy, so I will dip in as I please and
Please
take
do.
over.
Please do.
I was looking at the trivia, like I said, and this was a victim of the Harvey Weinstein scandal. So this was released, I think, last year, and then shelved for a while because of the whole Dimension Weinstein Company dealy bobs.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Harvey Weinstein.
Enjoy
prison.
What a ripple effect, huh?
Yeah. But it's not like it's not like the world needed this either. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
It's not like it was a good movie, then all of a sudden the scandal happened. Like, it's a bad movie.
It had some good like ghosty effects.
It did. It had a few good moments.
Okay, so what's the basic setup? But somebody takes a picture.
Okay,
and
Bird.
then
I'll tell you, Bird, our main character, Bird, who wears a yellow scarf around her neck all the time. And I told Amy if her head doesn't fall off at some point, I'm going to be really disappointed. It turns out she has a scar she's always covering up. Apparently, she was in a really bad car accident.
But that doesn't really matter to anything.
It doesn't. It's just to give her that troubled past that you've got to have.
The accident, it was localized in that one area.
Her neck, yeah, but her dad died in the accident.
His head actually fell off.
Popped right off.
Yep. Now, Bird works, and I don't know if they're, I think they're high school students, judging from the cafeteria scene.
Yes.
Although they play a little older than that. She works in an antique shop. Her coworker, who has a crush on her, buys, because he knows she's a photographer, buys her this classic Polaroid camera. It's the same style that Ansel Adam used.
Like at an estate sale. He's like, look what I found.
Oh, I didn't know they went back that far.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been around a while. And this is the gift, right? And she ends up taking pictures with it, and there'll be a shadow in the picture.
Like a man-shaped shadow.
And that means you're going to die.
Does she have to buy film for this camera?
No, it came with a box of film.
Oh, okay. So what is cursed, the film or the camera?
The camera.
Because it was a murderer's camera.
Yeah.
It was a pedophile murderer's camera.
Did the murderer take pictures of his victims and that's why it's cursed or something?
That's a spoiler, Amy.
Oh.
I wasn't going to spoil this just because maybe, but that's
right.
okay. No more spoilers.
Oh, sorry.
I don't necessarily recommend it. However, if you're going to watch it, it's kind of fun to do the paint by numbers because you will guess.
Freddie guessed everything.
You will guess everything that's going to happen in this movie by maybe the first 20 minutes. You're going to be like that, this, the other, maybe one more twist here. And it literally hits all those beats, which is kind of fun. If you watch a lot of horror films, you're going to know everything will happen.
Does it like predict your death? Kind of like Final Destination? Final Destination?
No, the ghost it picks you because you took a picture with his haunted camera.
Yeah.
The cursed object. Mitch Pileggi's in it.
Yeah, he plays the town sheriff.
He's a man that looks real good with a nice salt and pepper beard.
I like Amy. I feel like there's some of this is Amy making me feel better about the fact that I had a massive amount of gray hair come in. And I just mentioned it.
No, know, like Freddy's like,
Not that I'm not self-conscious about it, but then that same night
he does not have more all of a sudden. He just noticed.
Okay.
Daddies are hot.
Daddies are in.
And that's fine. And I'm okay with it. It's not a vanity thing.
I was trying to make you feel better.
It was strictly me noticing and going, wow, what happened inside my body is what I was worried about. Not the look of the gray hair.
Like, that's a thing.
I thought maybe I saw a ghost or something.
You got caught in the deadlights.
But then that same, like literally within an hour of me telling Amy, I noticed a lot of this all at once. And later she's like, he looks good. Look at that gray. And I'm like, that was real sweet is all I'm saying. Thank you.
No, it was, I don't think about you or care about you.
You thought my ego was hurting.
I was just like, he looked good.
You got to embrace the zaddiness.
Yeah. So
that's what the kids are saying now. Zaddy.
Zaddy.
What's that mean?
I don't know. I'm not a kid, so I don't know what it means.
You are a kid though, at heart.
I have one quibble. Mm-hmm. There's a plot hole.
Oh.
Yeah, quibbles and bits.
So like this, I spoiled it. Sorry, it's a murderer's camera.
Yeah.
The movie opens with this scene of these two girls going through the one girl's dead mom's stuff, like through a box.
Yeah.
And it's Cheryl Blossom from Riverdale. In case anybody's
the mom?
wondering. No.
Okay.
The one girl.
Okay.
And she's like, this was my mom's camera. Let's take pictures, sexy pictures for our boyfriend. And then, the movie goes on and on and on, and you get to the end and you kind of figure out it's a murderer's camera. And I'm like, how did your mom get this murderer's camera out of evidence?
Well, yeah, the opening to this is merely a placeholder to establish that the camera's fucked up.
I know, but I can't stop. Like, how did that get into your home?
So her mom worked in the police department or something?
Who knows? But here, you think, actually, she's I guess, big enough actor now that you do kind of feel like maybe she's going to play a bigger role than she does. But it's the opening from The Ring.
Yeah.
It's almost exactly the opening from The Ring.
So how does it kill you?
Well, the ghost comes out.
The ghost comes and
it comes in like ring deaths or something.
It does ghosty shit too.
But does it distort your face like in The Ring? Like
no facial distortions, Andy. Don't worry, everybody's face stays just fine.
This is a solid PG-13, so you're not going to see anything too gruesome.
Yeah, the deaths are like meh. And I'm not being a weird gore hound. I'm just saying like they just kind of happen and you don't really see anything.
They just dead.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I wanted to. I'm just saying you don't.
Like, she dead.
I'm not being a weirdo. Or am I? I don't know.
I did like in the beginning of the trailer, they were like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
Because they had no idea what a Polaroid camera is.
Well, yeah, that was kind of the funny part of it. They were like, what do you do? It's blank.
Yeah, everybody, they did, because it is funny because they don't get that you had to wait.
It's like those videos where they nowadays, like they get these kids to try to use a rotary phone or something. Yeah.
Did you see Hellfest, Andy? The one about them going to the traveling amusement park thing.
I thought that was fun.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It's the same writer who did that. So, and that's also a dead teenager movie.
Isn't it a lady writer?
I don't know, but their name is Blair, but that could be a man or a woman.
I'm gonna go with that's a lady writer.
She is a lady.
She's a lady.
She identifies as a lady.
She's a lady on the streets.
I don't know her pronouns, but
she's a freak in the sheets.
Yeah, she makes fun. Mildly fun horror movies. Like I like a dead teenager movie. That's my wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying is why I don't say don't watch it.
Right.
It's one of those movies where if you're craving a dead teenager movie,
craving a dead teenager,
Polaroid is the Little Caesars of dead teenager movies.
You get 2 of them for the same price.
They don't do that anymore. No, okay. What I mean,
it's fresh and hot. It's ready for you.
Keep your Alka-Seltzer nearby.
You will have eaten pizza, but you will have diarrhea. Most certainly.
Okay, so at any point, do they play the Outcast song?
No. Nobody even references it. It's like, is that even too old to bring up?
They're like, who is what now?
What is Outcast? Anyway,
that's all I really have to say about Polaroid.
That's all. You're like Forrest Gump.
That's all I have to say about that. Was it on Netflix? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Anyways, it is streaming for free.
If
you have those streaming services, check it out.
Well, I hope it kind of signals a revival of like 90s, early 2000 movies. I like those.
I enjoy those. Really want a whole revival of those?
Well, I feel that we've mined the 80s to death. I think the 90s should. That's the next thing that they're going to try to, throw back.
Yeah, it's fun. I guess.
What did we just watch The Final Girl or Final Girls?
Final Girls. We finally saw that. We've been talking about it since.
That was the 80s.
Yeah. Have you seen that, Andy?
Which one is that?
It's the one with Malin Ackerman and the
Adam
younger
Devine.
Farmiga.
No.
Thaisa, or however you pronounce her name. Her mom was a B movie star who she dies, and then her friends talk her into going to a screening of her mom's slasher movie that she made, and they end up going into the movie, and she decides
Like into the movie.
Oh, so it's like a meta type thing.
it's kind of like Pleasantville.
Or like the Last Action Hero.
Or Last Action Hero, but she decides she wants to save them, the victims, from the killer, because she has this attachment to the character her mom played. And it's really actually real sweet and has a lot of personality.
So is it a comedy or
yeah, it's a dark comedy.
It's a horror comedy.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
So you should watch it. It's in our library. We own it. So go watch it. Thanks to Mike. He bought it. Go watch it.
Yeah, listeners.
Go on.
All right, let's say bye.
Okay.
It's just gonna be you two now.
Yeah. All right, so let's get that Jack in the Box out and start a cranking.
I want to start cranking that Jack.
All right, so it's
Jack in the
Freddy.
crank.
So then I am the first one to crank it.
Oh, Amy, you are a lucky gal. What are you watching?
Actually, I'm kind of excited. Another horror comedy. This one stars Ike Barinholtz, who also wrote and directed it, and Tiffany Haddish. And it's called The Oath. And it is on Hulu.
Is this like that political thing?
Yeah.
Who's Ike Barinholtz again?
That guy, remember from
You know his face.
You know.
Oh, I love that guy. He was in what was the Blockers?
Yeah.
That was a cute movie.
And
He
the
was
Mindy
in,
Project.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Mindy show.
didn't watch that.
Eastside and Down. What was
Eastbound
it?
and Down?
Eastbound and Down.
He was in that Sisters.
Sisters.
You know that Tina Fey, Amy Poehler.
yeah.
Is that what it's called? Girlfriends.
Ladybugs. His brother is on Superstore, which is a show I really enjoy. They look exactly the same. It's weird.
Is his name Mike?
I think it's John.
What?
Oh, Mike and Ike. Get out of my house. All right. The Oath, a controversial White House policy turns family member against family member in a savagely funny dark comedy about surviving life and Thanksgiving in the age of political tribalism. And you're like, Amy, how's that a horror movie? I don't know. It was in the section called horror movies on Hulu.
Neat.
And I like the cast. So, hey, let's have a fucking party.
It reminds me of The Last Supper. You ever
Yeah?
see that? It was
No.
like with Cameron Diaz in the early 90s. There were these liberal group of people, and they would invite like conservatives to their like dinner party, and they would kill them.
Oh.
It was really good.
Wait,
would
what
never-
was it again?
The Last Supper.
I remember that. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
They buried him in the tomato patch or whatever.
That Hilary Swank movie, The Hunt, is supposed to be getting a release. It was like shelved because it was considered too controversial.
Well, it became out during. It was supposed to come out, and a shooting happened or something. Didn't it?
yeah, it's like
I don't know
liberals
if- yeah.
hunting conservatiors.
Yeah, they got to my
Dangerous Game
they got to my fanfic and
Yeah.
made a movie of it.
They sure did. One of the
Fuck them
reviews
bitches.
on Hulu or IMDb, I think it was IMDb, was like, good if you're a liberal. So I'm like, great. 'cause
I'm a
I
liberal.
am. And I'm endorsing Elizabeth Warren.
So it's like,
Oh,
Hunger Games
Amy, didn't we
almost.
talk about politics?
I don't care. I love her.
Don't we want to keep our politics all swept under
But I will
the
vote
rug
blue
so
no matter who,
people
because I'm
can
not
act-
a fucker.
People like to fantasize that the people they listen to agree with them about everything.
We just lost 20 patrons.
It's like
care.
it's like the girlfriend experience, where we're like,
No.
they're like, "Are you conservative?" I'm like, maybe.
Well, here's the thing, Frey. We've been doing this show for 14 years.
If you don't
I
know that
know.
already.
If y'all don't know, then y'all don't know.
I have fantasized about murdering Donald Trump on
I
this
know
show.
you fantasize, and it's
I would
important to
never
emphasize that it's a fantasy.
do it unless I could get away with it. Duh.
And
I
hopefully,
just drank some of your
and
7-Up
sometimes
because you make me
dreams come
nervous.
true.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will come true too.
Come on, coronavirus.
You make me nervous.
I'm wishing upon all the stars.
Get him. Get him.
Ready to move on?
Make him shit his pants. I don't mean any of this.
I know you don't.
Are you listening,
I want him
Secret
to,
Service?
I want him to die.
Okay, we'll be back.
May I the surface temperature is 214 degrees Fahrenheit.
The day of the individual in our world is gone.
Thermonuclear destruction. 4 billion people.
Everyone up there is gone. They're wiped out.
A perfect new computerized world. 1,758 feet underground. Perfect, except for something the computer forgot.
Shadow spots in the walls. If you can't see them and you can't hear them, how the hell are you going to fight them?
How did a bat get down here? The government didn't just dig a hole and plant this installation. They found caves, converted them. Bats live in caves.
There are others. There's no blood source on the surface. So they're either going to cannibalize each other or
find their way back in here.
I hate this place!
I think I found a way out. How? Might be possible to climb the elevator shaft and set off the emergency alarm at the top.
1,700 feet straight up. Nobody could climb that distance.
I could. Don't do it, Woody. You're risking your life for nothing. Don't you see that?
So Chosen Survivors.
What a long trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long trailer.
It was
a long trailer day.
Y'all just saw the movie.
So this is directed by super workaholic director Sutton Rowley, who...
What a fun name.
Yeah, mainly a TV guy. He worked on everything from Airwolf to Mission Impossible to Spencer for Hire. And then you can kind of... Did you get a TV vibe from the movie, too?
Yeah. I feel like there were commercial breaks.
Was it a TV movie?
Well, I think it was released theatrically.
It was an hour and 38 minutes, which is like the perfect timing for like a 2-hour TV movie.
Then you have 22 minutes of commercial. Sure.
Yeah, I'll try to find out for you if it was a TV movie.
So we'll spoil this movie. Obviously, it's the main attraction. I'm not sure that I super recommend it. It's kind of slow.
Yeah, you like silliness.
It's very silly.
It was theatrical release.
You like fun.
Do you like fun?
Then this movie's for you.
It's definitely very 70s as far as pacing.
You start with a helicopter dropping off a bunch of like doped up people.
I love the opening. It looked like a music video or something.
Yeah, and they're all being hustled into this bunker in the desert. There's 10 people.
I just want to recreate them being tossed in this plane.
Yeah, that was actually a little like it was funny for a minute, and then it was also really unsettling.
It was kind of eerie.
Once they're like in the bunker, the military guys are like, "Have fun," and then the door closes, and then the elevator goes down. As the elevator is going down, there's like explosions happening, and it's getting very bumpy in there, and they're all going.
You gotta do it too, Freddy. So we can.
For like 10 minutes.
And they're already half out of it, like Andy was saying to begin with, but then the world is ending outside, and they're headed down 10 stories into the earth, and they don't know why or who brought them there.
When they get in there, then a video pops up, and it's this lady.
It's like a very intense version of Big Brother.
Yeah.
I made that observation.
Julie Chen kidnapped 10 people and said, "You're living here now."
Yeah, that's basically it.
Like, and now for the twist.
She's like, "Hello, I'm Mary Louise Borden."
She's like, but first.
So she's like, guess what, guys? Thermonuclear war is broken out across the entire world. And
it looks like she's in the Oval Office, too, remember? Yeah, kind of.
Well, how progressive. I'll let you think that she was the president.
Yeah. She never says president, but she says Mary Louise Borden.
Mm-hmm. She says, you are the last of humanity, and you're here to make sure humans continue. And they look around and go, well, fuck. And then this guy comes wandering down the hall in a creepy way, and he's like, oh, shit.
he He's the
major.
The major. I keep
who's
wanting to
been
give him,
working in this bunker for however long, keeping it ready in case the worst happens. And here the worst has happened.
He rotates with another guy. He said, like, if he had been there, he would have been the one that was saved from the Holocaust. But it was his shift.
And they chose like the best and brightest of the of humanity.
Yeah.
Like scientists
and
scholars.
Athletes and a nutritionist.
Well, you need a nutritionist.
You got, right?
You only have so much food. You're going to eat it.
You got to know what kind of roaches you can eat.
Yes. And so have fun.
Yeah.
You're going to be great.
It kind of remind you, they were like the stereotypes of almost like a game of Clue, like where they're all just kind of thrown in. Did you guys mention the rich guy?
No, yeah, you have like a corporate tycoon,
which is kind of surprising. Why do you need businesses in the future?
I don't know. I guess they think he's crafty,
or he's good at like managing people. But I think we all know that CEOs are fuckfaces.
And then there's this like the weird like kind of positive racism of the peak physical specimen that they choose of mankind is this big black guy who was an Olympic athlete, and you're like, this feels wrong. There's something kind of
and there's nary an Asian to be seen.
Nope.
No, they didn't need it.
There's one like Latin
we've got a
Latinx
Latino
person. Yeah,
he's the first to go.
We've got
there's 2 African Americans
and a bunch of white folks.
Yeah.
Starring in this.
So like, sorry guys.
Yeah.
I'm peacing out.
Yeah. Sorry.
Deuces.
Hopefully, some Asian country has a bunker too, with 1 or 2 white people in it. Starring in this is our business tycoon dude is Perry White from the Superman movies.
Yeah, the old Christopher Reeves one.
And it's not a spoiler, but he's the guy that fucks shit up.
Oh, he fucks everything up. And I said to Freddy, the first inkling I got that somebody's going to be that asshole that starts freaking out and fucking shit up, I will murder you in these situations. I have no qualms about that. You need to be put down.
Yeah.
Because the needs of the many are more important than the needs of the few.
Yeah.
Or the
Spock.
One.
Yeah. But there was one thing I missed in this movie. There was no hysterical woman that got slapped.
Yeah, there was.
Did she get slapped?
Yeah, the nutritionist lady.
The nutritionist.
They didn't slap her though.
Yeah, they did.
Did they? The other lady slapped her.
You were on your phone, weren't you?
Andy?
You're busted.
Aloysius hung.
Maybe if you watched these movies, you wouldn't be so disappointed.
I apologize, movie.
Yeah, she got slapped, and I was like, there it is. I looked at Amy. I'm like, this has to happen in every one of them. I like the Airplane when they spoofed that. It was perfect, where people just lined up to slap the lady.
Also in this movie is Diana Muldaur.
Yeah.
Muldaur.
Yeah.
Who
Muldaur?
If you're a Star Trek nerd like your girl here, she's Dr. Pulaski on Next Gen, and then she was in the original series, but I think she played a few characters there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
which one was she? Like,
she was the congresswoman that slept with the artist.
Oh,
they hooked up.
Yeah.
They did a little bump and tickle.
But they consensually did it, because there's some non-consensual stuff that happens later on.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, hot damn, this really sucks.
Well, I love they show like footage of what's happening above ground. It is just lava,
just fire. The major's like, well, the atmosphere is on fire.
But it's like, I don't know how nuclear bombs cause lava.
I think if you have many going off,
maybe it triggered eruptions.
We've only ever had 2 drop.
Yeah, thankfully, right?
Well, I mean, I guess testing and everything, but if you did like 100 at a time, who knows?
But they say they're not the only bunker. There's multiple bunkers throughout the country, right?
I don't remember hearing that.
They said there's like there's multiple like spots.
Okay.
So when they're ready to come up above the ground, then they can all get together.
Yeah. Well, cool. You're like, am I like the 3rd or 4th cool bunker, or is there like one where they're like, this is the one that's going to be great?
What if when they all come to the surface,
party bunker.
This is the party bunker.
Every one of them had one black athlete in it.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait a minute.
We have too many black athletes now.
No, it's not that. It's just the insinuated racism of the whole thing. Our mathematician, Dr. Hong.
Nope, no Asians.
Just not in this one, Andy. He's saying maybe.
Our successful businessman, Mr. Jenkins.
Yeah, so this motherfucker...
Our gardeners.
Who's this? What's the name of the guy that's the asshole? The corporate tycoon
I call him
guy.
Turtle Face.
Turtle Face.
His mouth looked like a turtle.
Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, he was Raymond Cousins.
Raymond. He cannot handle any situation where he cannot buy or bully his way out of it. Just like your basic white man. Just kidding. And he starts to just be a turd face.
Well,
immediately.
He went from 0 to crazy real fast.
I don't know that he went crazy as much as he just threw a hissy fit.
Within like the first day, like shit went to hit the fan real fast.
Yeah, he was mad at everybody. He's like, "Leave me alone. I don't want your attention, but pay attention to me. I don't want it."
I get you're in a stressful situation. The world's over. Everybody you know and love is dead.
Yeah,
but make the best of it.
Yeah, he tried to convince everybody the stock market was still doing well. Remember where he came out of his room? He's like, "I know about the bats, but I just want to let everybody know that the stock market is looking really good to me right
Your
now.
Your 401k is fine.
Oh my God.
Your IRA is untouched.
It's all a hoax.
So when you get up to the surface, you can retire.
It'll be fine."
So they are like, "Wow, this really sucks. Let's just go to bed." And when they wake up in the morning, all their birds are dead. Why do they have birds? I guess it doesn't matter.
Like, maybe they're the canary in the coal mine, maybe.
Or just
pets.
Yeah.
It's just like an arc thing.
Or maybe they're like, you know what's delicious? Parakeets.
Tiny birds are delicious.
Lovebirds. They're small. You know, the serving size is just like a little less than you want, but just what you need.
But they cook so fast.
Yeah, they do.
And
you put them in the Instant Pot.
They discover
They fit in the little egg holder thing.
that somehow has gotten into the bunker are a bunch of vampire bats. And they theorize that these vampire bats no longer have a food source above ground. So they're coming in to kill the birds. And they start killing people. And it's real scary because there are bats. Little baby vampire bats.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
But they try to make... at one point, there's a close-up of this adorable little bat. But there's this big ominous music playing behind him. Like, it's so adorable.
I do not find bats adorable in any way, shape, or form. But they're small enough where I feel like... I would freak out, sure, but I wouldn't be worried for my life. And I don't think vampire bats are a threat to humanity in any way.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, even the rabies risk with vampire bats, I think is 0.5%.
Right.
So it's real small.
So it's like, they see a couple of dead parakeets and they're like, oh my God. But then the movie gives in to this fear and goes, oh yeah. These bats are going to really...
And the director's like, they're like, do you want us to just do cell animation? He's like, some shots will be cell animation. But when we have to hit them with pillows, we'll use real bats so they die.
Yeah, so the IMDb trivia says a bunch of bats died.
Multiple bats died during this movie.
Yeah.
This was before PETA.
Yeah. They killed a lot of bats. I mean, there's even one scene where I think he just smashes one with his hand when he's climbing up the
I hope that wasn't real.
shaft.
I'm pretty sure that was real.
It looked real.
70s. So just trigger warning that there's multiple animal deaths.
Yeah, it's hard. It's not as gruesome as like a cannibal holocaust.
Yeah, we don't see them again. Like,
it's quick.
At most, like we do see one get smashed by some guy's hand, but mostly it's just them batting the bats and hitting them out of the air.
Batting the bats.
Yeah, batting the bats.
Batting the hatches. So not only are you like, holy shit, everybody I know is dead, the world is over. Now there are killer bats.
Yeah. And they painted the entire place where they congregate and eat. It looks like a Greek diner almost.
Yeah.
Like it's just blue and white, and it's
very stark and shiny.
You know, like the future of the past, like you like to say, like Epcot, which is very or like the Enterprise from the original series Star Trek. What they imagine the future to be looks real cheesy.
It's very sleek.
Plastic.
It's stark.
Well,
and sparse.
It's very like.
There's no decorations.
But this movie, I think, got it more right than I've ever seen anything come up with like a futuristic look. Like very like plexiglass and like metal. And then the Greek diner where you hang out.
People in the past used to think the future equals shiny.
Yeah.
And I like that they put, there's like this living room area. It's almost like a conversation pit.
Yeah.
And they put carpet on it.
Yeah.
To make them comfy.
It's the 70s. You got to have carpet somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's carpet everywhere.
Which is kind of like interesting because they're stuck down there by themselves for 5 years. That's going to get dirty.
Yeah.
When they first entered the bunker, it reminded me of, I said, this is what I imagine White Castle corporate headquarters looks like with all the stainless steel.
That doesn't make any sense.
Because in White Castle, everything's stainless steel.
Oh.
This was
to make it clean.
They sponsored the bunkers, actually. Yeah. That's the only food they had.
That's the irony of the perception of White Castle.
Imagine just filling up that bunker with White Castle farts?
5 years of White Castle.
I don't know that there's enough air filtering in this world.
We could remake this where the threat is just they didn't put in a fart filtration system.
Too much CO2 in there.
I don't know. They're all going crazy in their own way.
Well, it's that classic trope. Like the threat is not the zombies or anything else. It's humans.
Humanity.
Yeah, but in this case, the bats were really a threat.
That's really getting
and
to
and also businessmen.
Businessmen.
He gets drunk. He behaves like exactly how you'd expect an entitled rich white man to behave, and he goes to get him some ass. This was awful.
He takes ass. He doesn't get it.
He's like, come here, we're doing this. And she's like, no. And she's like fighting him off until eventually she's like, fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. Do it.
And then it's not an issue going forward. It's just something that happened.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you the difference in society then versus now.
Who's the first person that died?
It was
the Latin
Luis.
Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the businessman.
Yeah.
Luis Cabral. That was Pedro Armendariz Jr., who it was in a ton of Mexican movies, but he was also in The Mask of Zorro, The Mexican, Once Time in Mexico. So you'll know his face if you're into those movies.
So we got one body on our hands thanks to the bats.
De Mi Padre, the Will Ferrell Spanish movie.
Okay.
I just thought it was interesting.
The bats kill him because of the businessman. I forget why.
Because he tries to get in the shaft, right?
Oh, yeah. And
then he lets in the bats.
Yeah. Real dick move. This guy is just constantly doing that.
What does the businessman expect to find on the surface?
He just thinks, right, like he's trying to bribe the major, like there's a way out of here. You can tell me. Come on, there's a way out of here. And I'm looking at Freddy like, where are you going, buddy?
I think he thinks he has enough resources to make it work.
But the resources are obliterated. There's nothing on the surface.
Is on fire.
There's nothing on the surface but lava.
Here's the thing, though. He's like, this is the government handling this. And I believe that private enterprise should handle this. So I'm going to go up and see if there's any private industry. That's what it is. So the whole time there's a scientist down there with them.
He's like is he like a psychologist?
He's a bunkerologist.
You're like, you're making your little notes.
Played by Bradford Dillman. Whose name I just love. I don't know why.
I know why. It's silly.
Peter McComber. He was in the Dirty Harry movies.
Okay.
This is the guy with the glasses, right?
Yeah.
Looks like Brad from Rocky Horror.
Major Brad from Rocky Horror vibes, even his personality too.
Yeah.
Very nebbish.
So, again, we always spoiler.
Oh, sure.
We always spoil the main attraction, but he's like, there's no nuclear holocaust. This is all an experiment.
He's like, we needed to have these bunkers in the event of.
Yeah, just in case.
But we needed to test them if this is going to work. And so y'all are just little test monkeys. And you're supposed to be down here for 30 days. But the shit has clearly hit the fan with the bats.
So the bats weren't part of their plan, right?
Nope.
No, that was one thing we didn't plan for.
He says, I wasn't sure at first if this was testing me.
Yeah,
I'm the only one that knows. But he realizes, and so he's going to put in the signal to get rescued.
I like to think in other bunkers, they released other animals.
Yeah, Wolverines. So the signal doesn't go through. It doesn't work. So he's like,
do you know
default.
Why?
Why? Is it because the businessman broke the stuff?
Oh, okay.
No, the businessman, before he, announces the twist, the businessman got angry and went and fucked shit up in the control room.
Oh,
and then
I didn't even
gets
catch that part.
mad at the scientist.
I thought it was the bats that made the wires.
You remember the scene with the bat? They showed the bat cutting the phone line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little hoodie on.
Like the plant in Horror Express.
Yeah, Horror Express. So the guy's like, I put the signal on it. It'll be fine. So just give it a few minutes and then they're going to come rescue us.
Yeah.
And then the signal doesn't go through. And motherfucker has the nerve, this businessman.
This businessman.
To be like, it didn't. Look at you did this. What? Blah, blah. And nobody thinks to just punch this motherfucker in the face and say, this is your fault.
I mean, ultimately, it is the scientist's fault. Because really, he's the one who brought them down there against the wall.
But they would still... Didn't they say if you don't get the signal within a couple of days, they were going to send people down for you?
10 days.
So
10 days.
So they have 5 more days.
If they have just waited instead of...
Yeah.
Panicking, they would have been fine, right?
Basically.
No, if everything was as normal, he would have sent a signal saying the experiment's going along. It's working. That's day 10. If they get the message, they don't come. And then at day 30, they're let out. But they get 5 days in. Things have all hit the fan. The signal doesn't go up. So they don't know to come down early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're not going to check in on them until day 10.
Yeah.
Because they haven't received the okay signal.
So but they still had only 5... Just
5 days to wait.
5 days with bats.
But they're like, we can't.
They can't take 5 days with bats.
We can't handle this. Meanwhile, the nutritionist is trying to commit suicide, and they got her in like the little hospital room. But while they're all checking on the signal, the bats get in there and kill her.
Yeah, they do. All kinds of little holes in her. She's just like Swiss cheese when they find her.
So the lady says, and obviously, vampire bats don't work like this. But in the world of the movie, they drink their weight in blood every day.
They really do, though.
And that's fine.
You know what they do that's interesting? They drink the blood and piss at the same time. So what they're getting is they're getting all the nutrients out of it and none of the liquid. That's how they get so much into them.
It's like what they say about beer. You don't
you don't buy blood, you rent it. Am I right? Because you see a bunch of bats at urinals. That's adorable.
But
why are they still attacking these people? Because like they're still surface food.
That's what I was saying. So the twist of the movie is that the world didn't end. Everything's still the same upstairs. Why are the bats attacking the people then?
Well, there's also the argument that if you think for a minute, like I had to think.
Oh, was I supposed to think for a minute?
You guys should have thought if you had maybe thought. So what happened?
If only I wasn't on my phone.
I thought about it when I was theorizing. They're talking about how the bats possibly got in. They're saying, well, people bring supplies in, and they must have stowed in the elevator at some point. And nobody noticed they were on top of the elevator or something, and they came down, and eventually a bunch of them got down there, and they can't get back out to get to the food.
Oh, okay.
They're trapped down there too. The bats are.
Oh,
so that's kind of where I ended up.
Right.
Not to give this movie too much credit.
I think that makes sense.
Poor little bats.
What? So, got a couple of dead folks now. They are like, we cannot wait 5 days.
Right.
I don't know why they couldn't. Just hole up in one room, make sure all the cracks and nooks are taken care of, and wait. But no.
Food.
Fucking a-hole Jeff Bezos comes out.
No, he's more of a Musk.
He's a Musk. He's a Musky Bezos.
I feel like Elon's a lot more evil.
He's more of a Don Jr.
Oh.
Now I'm doing it.
But Don Jr. is a bad businessman.
Well, the major had
we
mentioned...
don't know if this guy's really a good businessman.
He's like, there is an idea. We could climb up the elevator shaft to get to the door. There's a special button that'll open it.
And they're like, no one could possibly do that except maybe a black athlete.
An Olympic medalist.
Yeah.
If you didn't win that Olympic medal, they wouldn't have picked him.
No. Yeah. And he's like, all right. And everybody else is like, no, let's just chill.
He gets $100,000.
But then, Musky Bezos.
He gives him an IOU. He's like,
if you do
I will write this down.
It is legally
I
binding.
owe you $100,000.
You think they had a notary down there too?
I don't think they needed one.
Well, he kept saying, I'm going to write a note. I'm going to sign this note. I'm going to put my seal of approval on this note. I'm going to put a thumbprint on this note. I'm going to lick it, see if DNA. Like, he just kept
stuff it in your pants. And you can climb up there because you're strong. And I understand that your people have these abilities that other people don't have.
Like, he's just that guy. Ugh. Other people exist to do what I need them to do. So they all... Not all, just a few. He's like, no, I'm going to do it. The athlete. And he's like, I'm going to, Willie Russo, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to do it. So he starts to head up. Well, first they electrocute all the bats in the shaft to try to kill off as many as they can.
This was disturbing.
Yeah. They take like,
I don't know if it was real.
Fence I don't know, but they create a giant bug zapper essentially by slathering fence in blood.
I'm pretty sure I saw
it.
some dead bats.
I'm not.
They were popping off of that thing like when they threw the power on. I don't know how they did that.
I feel like they just threw bats at a fence and called it a day.
Well, I hope not.
I don't love bats, but I don't want them to be hurt. So they're like, okay, I think we've killed off a majority of them. You can go up the shaft. And so our friend Willie heads up, and then he finds more.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing that was keeping these bats out of the shaft was a sock stuffed into a crack.
Yeah.
And that's no joke either.
Yeah.
It's literally a crack with some cloth stuck in it to keep the bats out.
Yeah.
And the bats eventually break through the impenetrable cloth.
The bats cannot be held back by your sock. And Willie gets all the way up there, and he's trying to turn the key on the door. I don't fucking know.
He gets the door open.
He does get it open, but he also gets a bat to the eyeball.
Which is not good because it makes him fall.
Yeah. So he falls and dies.
He falls and falls and falls because we watch him climb for a long time.
A long time.
You get the whole experience of what it's like to climb this 10-story shaft.
It's like half the movie.
Yeah. And then he falls and falls and falls.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, you think like, oh, he got snagged. He's okay. Yeah. You think like, and then that breaks and his body keeps going.
Not good.
No, it's not. And this moment fits the template of the classic 70s Irwin Allen disaster movie, like the Poseidon Adventure, the Towering Inferno, or Airport, where the woman being slapped, the escape route that only one specialized person can navigate. In the Poseidon Adventure, it was Shelley Winter's character, the swimmer.
Swim underwater.
I can't remember in the Towering Inferno who was the guy who had to make the leap, but
Scott Bakula.
The next leap would be the leap home. But in this case, it's his heroic moment.
Yeah.
When it turns out it was unnecessary.
Bat to the eyeball. At this point, the whole place is full of bats that came out of the shaft and followed our friend on his fall down.
They're full of hungry bats.
Yeah.
And they're just fighting them off, and it's just real good effects. Not blurry at all on my television.
Now this is where they throw in the painting, the cell shade, whatever they did to make it look like bats were in the foreground.
But they also made the people glow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a little weird. I don't know what
that
was all about.
They're implying that the lights went off.
Yeah.
And you can't see anything, but
maybe it was supposed to be the sonar that the bats were using to see them.
I like how you reason everything.
Yeah.
That's just the way my imagination works. So
Freddy just batted his eyes at us.
Almost everyone dies, right?
No,
or like 4 of them survive, or 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah. So half of them die.
Yeah. And guess who motherfucking lives?
Yeah. The businessman
got away with rape because you can't.
And nobody cares. Again, nobody cares. He doesn't get any comeuppance.
But you can't be held accountable for your actions down there because
we kind of missed a moment earlier in the movie that I want to come back to, if I may. Is that okay?
Please do.
Where they're discussing, where the one scientist reveals that this has been a test, and Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, is like, I'm gonna sue the fuck out of the government when we get out of here. And he's like, no, you're not, because the government will deny and will probably just kill all of us.
Yeah.
To make sure none of this gets out.
Because they literally kidnapped these people.
Yeah.
Right.
And threw them in a cave.
And tortured them psychologically.
Had it been a success, maybe they would have gotten out and gone with their lives. But yeah, it makes you wonder at that ending, like, are these people just being taken up above ground just to be murdered, debriefed, and then killed?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's pretty dark.
Or do you, at least the businessman, I mean, he can be blackmailed with, got you raping on camera. So
maybe. I don't think it was 74. That was a misdemeanor.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
They're like, well, she did eventually say yes because of the pestering and the abuse.
That's fine then.
When they get to the service and they see the studio audience and then Julie Chen's there, like,
woo! And people are cheering for the rapist, but you're like, really? Always the guy gets cheered for when he leaves the Big Brother house who was like a monster. You're like, why are they cheering for that person?
He was such a good strategist. He had played a good game, apparently.
This is a good game. He's so charming. I love his catchphrase.
He didn't come here to make friends.
And I love the, every morning lady president would give these like encouraging messages.
Yeah.
Like, you're stuck down with these people, but the conflict is going to arise. But you just need to sit down and talk about it.
Just talk it out.
Yeah, you'll grow to love one another. And
We've got a gym equipped with vibrating belts.
Yeah, that was funny.
But I like to think that like every day there's going to be a new message like, you might get sick of the food down here, but let's make it fun.
Yeah.
Try to think of new recipes.
You're on slop this week.
I would punch the screen eventually.
Yeah, the bit about the gym was great. They're like unlimited vibrating belts. You can use the vibrate. Stay fit. I know. I'm looking at you, Olympic athlete.
No, she winks at the ladies.
Yeah, we got to stay fit. It'll be easier to fight off your aggressors.
But I feel like vibrating belts went out in the 40s and they still have them in the 70s.
I feel like I remember I was a member at a YMCA that had a vibrating belt.
Really?
When I was in high school.
Cincinnati is 10 years behind the rest of the world.
It was kind of fun. You ever use one?
No.
Yeah.
I wonder if they also have the personal saunas where you get in the box.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing is your head poking out.
Like Commander Pike. Oh, too much Star Trek in my life.
Yeah, sorry. This was a doofy movie.
I'm sure when it came out, it probably would have been pretty great.
I hope
sorry, go ahead.
that we have bunkers. I'm sure we do. I know we do.
We do. We have a big one here in Cincinnati that used to be a subway system.
To continue on, like Stockton Ready.
No, they say there's some down there that have that's what I've heard. I don't know if I can't confirm nor deny it.
I just hope they're bat free.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they've seen this movie. If you're going to be the person designing and creating the bunker system for this country, I hope you've watched every movie where humanity is stuck in a bunker.
If you only have time to watch one movie like this,
it's not this one.
Watch the Andromeda Strain instead. Yeah. But this movie's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not, I didn't feel like I wasted my time or anything. And it's on YouTube. It's free.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent quality considering it's a YouTube and 45 years old.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I hope the government knows not to take businessmen to the future.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah,
we don't,
really don't
because
need
they're all sociopaths. You don't need that.
Yeah, the only good futures in television and movies are the futures where it's altruism has happened and money doesn't exist anymore, like on Star Trek.
Yeah.
Except for the Ferengis, and we still haven't figured out how everybody pays the Ferengis.
On Deep Space Nine, yeah.
Because they don't have any money.
And I want to say to the government that also in the future you need podcasters. Pick us.
You do. You need entertainers like on Avenue 5. They have a comedian.
Yeah. Speaking of bad to worst, again, interesting timing. The ultimate current bad to worst storyline is unfolding on HBO on Avenue 5, which is from the creators of Veep. It's awesome.
It's okay. I'm still feeling it out.
I think once they get through their first season, I think they're really going to hit their stride. But there are moments on that show, like when they release all the shit on accident from the ship.
Yeah.
The whole wetsuit scenario. There's some pretty great stuff in there.
Okay.
And the stand-up comedian bit on the last episode was really good. But I love it personally.
He loves it.
It tickles. It's exactly what I want. It's like story set on an isolated ship. I love like cruise ship stories, sailing ships, and spaceship stories.
Do you wish you were on the Diamond Princess? Do you want somebody to write that for you?
No. I love that there's mishaps in comedy, but it gets real dark and you don't know like how dark it's going to get.
Right.
But it's still funny even though it gets really dark.
Ooh, mishaps. Is there a Mr. Hap?
Yeah. It's great.
I like it. I've seen the first 2 episodes and you could definitely tell that the makers of Veep are heavily involved in this.
Yeah. I kept hoping that Selena Myers would turn up in some historical context as just an Easter egg. Because it feels like this is the way the world of Veep would be like 200 years down the road. Yeah. That was my chair, by the way.
Okay, sure. All right. Chosen Survivor.
Yeah.
They're going to pick Lil Wayne to go down the bunker.
So. We need rappers in the future, too.
Well, yeah, you need more than just
commentary.
10 scientists. Like, have something a little bit more, because people need, releases, not just to work.
You mean like a crate of pocket pussies?
Oh, my God.
You have unlimited pocket pussies.
And vibrating belts for the ladies.
Am I right?
All right. So one of our mailing list people will have the honor
picking our third attraction for Bad to Worst month.
All right.
Out of the frying pan into the fire.
I have a random number generator and a list of everyone who subscribes to our MailChimp newsletter.
MailChimp?
If you want to sign up for that, go to our website, notlp.com, scroll down to see Dracula, the vampire, and sign up there. And you will have a chance. Every series of podcasts we do, we save that final main attraction for you to pick based on our theme. I just drew number 35. That's going to be Mark Watts.
I know. Oh, he's picked before.
Has he had it before? Well,
he's
got it again.
He's a lucky motherfucker.
Damn, motherfucker.
So, Mark, if you're listening, you will be picking
our third movie. Now,
for bad or worse.
You might be asking yourself, what's your second movie?
You are a lucky motherfucker. There are a lot of people on this list.
Our second main attraction will be...
Second main attraction is The Lady Killers from 1956. So if you've never seen The Lady Killers, it's a really fun caper.
I love a caper.
They're so delicious.
I'm trying to remember Una Momente.
What do you... Capers are like in ham, right? No. What am I thinking of capers? What are their
capers
tastes?
like little
They're like
olives?
like seeds almost.
Seeds.
They're like, you ever eat lox?
No, I don't eat fish.
Okay.
So this is a crime comedy directed by Alexander McKendrick, who also did The Man in the White Suit and a number of other great movies. But this one, I've never actually seen this original. I've seen the remake. 5 oddball criminals planning a bank robbery rent rooms on a cul-de-sac from an octogenarian widow under the pretext that they are classical musicians, and it's about them. The placement of her home is important to them pulling off the heist. Stars Alec Guinness.
Oh.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Peter Sellers.
That guy?
Yeah. Cecil Parker. And more.
Okay. Excited.
And then the old lady is Katie Johnson.
Turns out the old lady is just a bunch of bats.
And this is
vampire bats.
This is her most notable role is in this movie. And the remake, if you haven't seen it, is also really great. But I assume this one's great. I've never seen it. We'll find out.
But
you know how this goes.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, it was awesome. I had a great time with you guys.
We have so much fun here.
We have our Beelzebubs, who are our top tier patrons.
They're just better people than everybody else.
They're like the businessmen
They are
of the future.
They're the ones who would make it into our bunkers.
Yes, you're allowed to bunker.
But they would also fuck shit up too.
Yeah, well.
And at the end of every episode, we thank them as producers of this show: Ernie Perez, Alise Wallace, Amanda
Alise Kombrinck.
G. I know I always say Wallace. It's a habit I can't break. Alise Kombrinck. Amanda G, Jeremy and Cassie Burmeister.
Enjoy your t-shirt, Jeremy.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Mark Watts,
our winner,
who will be picking.
Congratulations.
Blake Heath, Bill Fahrner, Tree and Alex McNulty, Iona Goodwin, Jeff Lancaster, Branan and Emily, Bill Chandler, Todd to Pompa. Thank you so much. We love you so much. You guys are our kings, and we'll wash the royal penis.
Bye.
Bye.
Frankenstein was wondering if he